You guys know what's going to be on the whiteboard today. Very simple. What the hell is going on with this market right now? I think we're all thinking this. Here's the thumbnail. Oh, man, what a day. Let's just talk about it. I just want to bring you guys up to speed on what I'm thinking. And let's talk about how we can try to find the bottom. Because the only way we're going to make money on this, in my opinion, is if we can play these bounces. There will be a massive bounce. There's just too much panic right now, guys. Too much panic. So the only thing I'm focused on, I am a little bit, pissed off at myself for certain trades that I've done and everything. And I could have played this all better. So that's why my mood is bad. I just think that I could have helped people better. I could have predicted things better. So I'm kind of just mad at myself. But I will explain exactly what's happening with the market. I will explain as someone who has skin in the game, who actually trades this market and is actually, invested. So if you guys want to hear from someone who's right there with you, please smash the like button, because that's the only reason I'm going to keep making these videos. Let me just talk to you for 2 seconds, you people. There's only like 5 of you left. Okay. Retail is quitting left and right. Everyone is saying, I haven't talked to any normal people in the world who are still like interested in crypto. They're just like, oh, that crypto thing. You know what I mean? So these are the best times to invest historically, right? Like if you can get somewhere close to the bottom, this is where you actually make the most money. So I know it hurts the most right here, guys. Trust me, I feel it too. Like, can you see? I haven't slept a lot. Like this affects me. I hate this. But these are the best times to invest. These are the best times to get your head out of your ass and make the most of it. So if you're ready to do that, let's go. Let's go. So at some point here, I don't know whether it's going to be at freaking 10 grand or it's going to be right now at $23,000. Bitcoin is going to have bounces along the way. Bitcoin is going to have bounces. It's probably going to have face melting bounces. It might go lower. You know what I mean? But it's going to look something like that. It's going to look like a roller coaster, guys. That was like terrible drawing, but you guys know that like typically when you see a market, like if you just look at this chart, it doesn't go up or down in a straight line. Let me just go to a daily chart and let's just talk about this. Let's just make sense of this as a family. I'm going to take off all my indicators here real quick. And we're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about the bottom. We're going to talk about some really bad news. It's going to be fun. So just stick with me for this video, okay? It's going to be so much fun. Okay. So let me just talk about this. When we went up, remember this, guys? When we went up, it was not a straight line. Remember like 2 years ago, not a straight line here, not a straight line here, not a straight line here. It's a daily chart. Can you guys see this? I know it's pretty small, but like you see how there was resistance? There were times when we stopped or we paused. It doesn't go straight up. We came back down right here, right? Then we went back up. Then we went sideways. Then we came back down here. Then we went up. Then we went down. Then we went up. Then we went down. Then we went up. It's a freak. Look at this. I'm just drawing the chart. Look at this roller coaster. Do you see the roller coaster that we ride on? Okay. And now I want to show you something different. What is happening right now is basically a straight nuke. Like this is the only relief we had right here. Like what? You know what I mean? So markets don't just go down in a straight line. And eventually people are going to get too greedy. That's how bottoms form, because it's a liquid market. People will start to short the bottom. They'll say it's going to zero, and it's not going to zero. They'll start to short. It will become too much. They will think that Sailor's going to get liquidated or something crazy is going to happen. The shorts will pile up and we'll have a massive correction. It's not going to go back to freaking $50,000. That was the wrong line. But we could have massive bounces here along the way. Okay? And so my goal is to play it simple. Is to keep the cash keep cash ready and try to buy as close to the bottom and buy Bitcoin only, because we'll talk about that in a second, but the maximalists were right. All right, let's talk about why we broke down first, and then we'll circle back to the thesis going forward. Sound good? Here we go. Celsius. You guys all know this. You've probably already seen this on Twitter. The reason that we dumped is because Celsius decided to stop all withdrawals. And honestly, I feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for the CEO. Because, he probably tried to, he started a great company. He started an amazing company with $1 billion value, with billions of dollars of valuation, and just, worked his ass off for years. And now the reason that this is crashing is not because, it is because Celsius, is doing shit coinery, which we'll talk about in the rest of the video, which is why we're in this predicament in the first place, because of people, we're all guilty of it. We should all just own it. We should all just put our pride to the side and own the fact that this is our fault. Okay. But the immediate fault that caused this is rumors on Twitter. So if you go on Twitter, everyone started rumoring, Celsius is going to break down. Celsius is going to zero. Celsius, get your funds off of Celsius. It just sounds so innocent, right? So innocent. Get your funds off of Celsius. Simple thing to tweet, right? But when enough people tweet that, what happens is this thing called a bank run. And my computer froze. A bank run. People just run on the bank. It's the same thing that happened with Luna. You guys remember how Luna went to effing zero? Yeah, sure, they had a lot. It was a bad design. It was a terrible protocol. Do Kwon is, probably going to go to jail. all that stuff. But the only reason it actually collapsed is because of us. It's our fault. We were on Twitter starting the rumors. Hey, it's going to collapse. Hey, it just starts a bank run. It starts a panic. And so this poor guy, the CEO, he has people withdrawing from his company. His company wasn't built to handle an insane number of withdrawals every single day because of complete panic and FUD, right? So that's what's happening. And so they had to stop withdrawals because if people keep withdrawing money from their thing, their whole business breaks down and it just completely shatters. And so now they have liquidations coming up. They're liquidating Bitcoin. It's just the same thing that happened to Luna, right? You have too much supply. It's supply and demand. The demand gets sucked out of your business. Bad shit happens. You panic. You have to sell assets. Stuff happens. That's why Bitcoin's crashing right now. I have something even worse for you. Are you ready? This is way worse. Celsius is one thing. Sorry for the noise in the back. Someone's freaking mowing. Of course. This is bad. We have a collapse of a small little crypto bank here, and that's hurting us. Imagine if the Bank of Japan, this is what keeps up Japan. This is like the Federal Reserve for Japan. It looks to be where there's smoke, there is fire, right? It looks to be on the verge of collapsing. This is insane. The Bank of Japan has been pegging. This is going to get pretty technical. So for those of you guys who don't have a brain, you might want to turn off the video now. But there's this thing called yield curve control, okay? It means that it's basically what is going to end up happening to the United States, okay? You know how they're raising rates? We're going to talk about that later in the video. So this is going to get really technical. I'm sorry for all of you people who can't conceptualize technical concepts. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm so irritable today. Anyway, maybe because Bitcoin's at $23,000. F! Okay. The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, right? And they are doing this so that the economy doesn't break, right? They're trying to get inflation down. However, Japan is on the other side of this equation. They've already went through this. And what they ended up having to do is they had to cap interest rates at 0.25%, which is called yield curve control. This means that they are unlimited money printing at this level of 0.25%. If the rate gets higher than 0.25%, the government simply prints the money and they cap it at that rate. Here's the issue though. It's breaking above that line. Think about this. Think about that. Imagine if the Federal Reserve came out tomorrow and said, hey, we're just going to cap interest rates at this level. We're going to buy as much as we need to keep interest rates at that level. First of all, Bitcoin would go to $1 million tomorrow. But if that happened and then it broke, you would have big, big problems. That's what's happening in Japan. That means that even unlimited money printing is not solving this problem anymore. And the Japanese yen is also suffering. It is getting absolutely crushed because of this. It's getting absolutely destroyed. So Pentoshi, you guys know, is my favorite guy. Of course, I'm obsessed. But I mean, he's been kind of leading. Everyone's been wrong lately. So, you can't really trust anyone these days. But like, look at this. First central bank collapsing, it seems. Almost guarantee central bank reform comes. It almost looks inevitable. This could turn into the greatest economic collapse in the history of the world. Wow. Because of how globally connected every economy is. Wow. I mean, imagine if that, anything's possible. This could all literally come. We've been talking about it. Once again, the theme of this video is the maximalists were right. All right. What I'm going to do in a second, guys, I'm going to go through all of these bad things. Celsius, Bank of Japan, world collapse. Then I'm going to write down all the reasons why the maximalists were correct on this piece of paper here. And we're going to talk about what we need to do as a community to not have this happen to us again. Okay. Does that sound good? If that sounds good, smash the like button, share this with one person. Okay. That's what this video is going to be. The Fed. This is the last thing this is the only thing that's going to matter this week. June 14th and 15th. This is Wednesday. The FOMC meeting is happening. March. Where is it? April? What the fuck? June 14th and 15th. FOMC conference. Now, here's the deal. They're going to raise interest rates. We had the worst inflation print in history on Friday, which is what caused this Bitcoin meltdown right here. We were at 29. Where is it? Right here. We were at $29,000, around $30,000. We went straight down because of CPI. CPI, not because of the Celsius thing. The Celsius thing came later. The Celsius thing has probably added this last leg to it. But the big reason was CPI came out. And the reason for that is because they're going to raise interest rates, like I said, and they are going to slow down the economy to try to get inflation under control. Now, here is the big numbers that you need to know. For the Fed meeting, we have these rate hike probabilities. You're probably like, Kale, this is so complicated. I cannot figure this out. It's not that freaking hard, okay? Listen to me. 50 BPS is the current rate hike. They are going to raise rates by 50 BPS. That's what this represents. 70% chance. The market is pricing in a 70% chance that we raise the rate by 50% on Wednesday. Here's the thing. A few days ago, this was 100%. Before CPI came out, this was at 100%. Now it's at 70% because there is the possibility that we could raise it by more, by 75% on Wednesday. I will tell you this right now. if we raise rates by 75 basis points on Wednesday, we are going to turbo nuke. Everything is going to nuke. It's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, okay? I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think if we do, now that we have these odds, now that everyone is kind of pricing this in, everyone's kind of pricing this in now, right? So if we do get the good outcome over here on the left, we could actually have a temporary relief bounce in Bitcoin, which would be good. So there's your first good news of the day. Okay, I know it came like 8 minutes into the video, so I apologize for that. The next one. The next thing that we're going to talk about on this meeting on Wednesday is the forward guidance. That means what is going to happen in future meetings of the FOMC. So for July, before this day, they were pricing in a 50% rate hike once again. 50%, 50 basis points, excuse me. But they were pricing that in up here in like the 75% range. Now, it's only a 30% chance. They're saying that in July, they think they're going to raise rates by 75%, 52%. So here's the thing. All you have to know for CPI data, I'll just write on this chart over here because it's easy, okay? For Wednesday FOMC, this is all you need to know. This is your cheat sheet, okay? It's gonna happen in the afternoon at 2 p.m. It always happens at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. ET, and then Powell comes on at 2:30. Okay, Jerome Powell is at 2:30 ET. So here's what we're gonna look for, okay? If you want to make some short-term money in this market, first of all, we're gonna hopefully bottom out here over the next few hours. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but if I can buy Bitcoin around $20,000 early in the week, I think that would probably be a good move because, I mean, that's just too much dumpiness. That's just too much dumpiness for short-term trades. I think if we can buy anywhere in 21, 22, I don't know, anywhere in here for Bitcoin, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It could nuke. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon. I'm going to talk about that. This might be a long video. Just stay with me, okay? If you can buy at these levels, I think we could get a relief bounce if a few things happen. First of all, if we get a 50 BPS hike for June, BPS for June, that is good. That is very good. That means that we'll probably get some relief, okay? If Powell says at 2:30, remember, so we will know at 2 o'clock if we're going to get the 50 BPS hike. Does that make sense? 2 o'clock, we will know that we're going to get this. That'll be good. Then at 2:30, Powell will talk about what's going to happen in July. And if he says that we're going to hike 50 BPS in July, this is where we'll really, really get relief. This is where we could see like 30K Bitcoin again, guys. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen, by the way. This is a low probability chance. What's probably going to happen, I don't know. It's tough to say, but probably going to happen is we'll probably get a 50 BPS hike, right? Because it's happened so quickly, they probably don't have time to change their hike for June, right? So they'll do 50 in June, and that will come out at 2 p.m. We'll get some relief. Then Powell will come on and throw cold water on the whole thing again, and he will say that we're going to get 75 BPS or something to that tune, 75 or higher, or something bearish, something hawkish for July, and he'll say that at 2:30, and then we'll nuke again, okay? And then we'll nuke again. So you have some opportunities here to play those time frames. Be prepared on Wednesday, all right? Be prepared. So that's what I'm looking for. As far as a bottom, guys, here's what I'm struggling with. Like, I would buy right here. I mean, $23,000, man. It's crazy that we're scared to buy Bitcoin at 23. It's crazy. Why am I scared to buy Bitcoin at $23,000? And here's the reason. We have liquidations, okay? If you just go on Twitter, everyone is literally, Michael Saylor is freaking trending. Michael Saylor is trending because he supposedly has a liquidation price. Michael Saylor will go down as the dumbest crypto investor of all time. I don't think that's true. But I mean, they're saying that he has a liquidation price. This guy's an idiot, but they're saying that he has a liquidation price around 21K. I don't know if that's true. Okay, right here. It says a 205 million collateralized loan at 21K. If we go below that, Saylor will be forced to hand over uncollateralized BTC. So, you know, we have that liquidation. We have a liquidation price for Celsius, I think is around 18K. So if we do get down to these levels, right? If we do get to 20, 21, 20, we could have a quick wick, a panic wick, a final capitulation, right? Down to like 16, 15, 12. I don't know where support would kick in. But this would be like, you know, obviously the bargain of a lifetime. So what I'm trying to figure out is like, it seems like all this is going to happen soon. You know what I mean? Like the internet is moving everything up. Like if this was 5 years ago, would Celsius have collapsed in 5 minutes? No. It's Twitter. It's freaking Twitter. It is definitely Twitter. If you have Twitter just endlessly spreading FUD and spreading rumors and spreading all this stuff can happen very, very fast, right? Like very, very fast. So we might bottom out here soon because shit just gets liquidated. It's like a cascade. Dung, 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 dung. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put in some bids. I don't know where. I'm gonna try to put in some bids. If you want the exact places I'm putting in bids, just buy one of our NFTs. I know this is a terrible time to buy it. Trust me, if you don't have any money and you can't afford an NFT, don't buy it. But I mean, at least Ethereum's cheap. I mean, but I put all my trades live in here. I love my family in here. It's great to have a family. It's great to have a community during times like this to actually like, bounce ideas off of and think through this. But I'm going to be putting all my trades in there, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to get some bids in here and play one of these bounces. I do not think we're going back to all-time highs. I don't think any of that, right? But I think that if we can buy somewhere in these levels, right, 21, 20, we should be able to get at least back to the mid-20s, maybe the 30s at some point this summer, right? So that's a nice little trade. Okay, let's talk about why I'm only trading Bitcoin, then I'll let you guys out of here, okay? I think I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I think I'm a BTC maximalist again. And I hate to break, I know everyone's like, Kale, you are the biggest hypocrite of all time, because you guys know that I started this channel basically making fun of maximalists because I used to be one, right? I used to be one. So quick summary for those of you guys who don't know who I am. Basically back here, okay, I was a maximalist. This entire ride, I started buying Bitcoin in March of 2020, back here at this COVID dip right here. And I rode it all the way up. I actually had leverage. I was way up. I mean, I'm talking like up here, I was on the moon, right? And I didn't sell because I'm an idiot. And I got liquidated coming down here after Elon, I got liquidated. So I almost lost everything on my Bitcoin position. I made a lot of money, almost lost it all. Okay. And then I got pissed. I was like, these maximalists are fucking losers, man. I hate them. They're just always talking shit. They're always up in here saying like, shitcoin. I was like, the only way to actually make money in this environment is to buy things other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves too slowly. And so back down here, I called the exact bottom. I don't know how I did it, but I did. You can go back and look on my Twitter, but I called the exact bottom here and I started buying altcoins. I really saw the path with the ETF and everything that was coming out. I saw the path back to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And I thought that altcoins would do much better than Bitcoin, and I was right. Okay, and so I did a ton of gains here. I did a ton of X's all the way back up with altcoins. Okay, and then I was like, man, I think we're going to 200K, and of course I was wrong there. But I mean, everyone thought that, so I don't feel that bad. But I was calling for crazy altcoin prices. I was calling for all this stuff going higher because it seemed like it was following the past cycles, and we were literally just going to 200K. So it made sense mathematically. I thought we were going here. Instead, we didn't. And around 50K Bitcoin is when I sounded the alarm on this channel and on Twitter. It was kind of around here, I think, on this little bump right here. And I was like, sell everything, sell everything, sell everything. Okay. And so that's what I did. So I made some profits, but I mean, it was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster, right? And so this whole way down, I've still been making fun of the Bitcoin maximalists, but the past few months, guys, I think it's time to just admit, like, you know what I mean? Like one of the best attributes I think of successful entrepreneurs and successful people in general is just the ability to say when you were wrong. And I was wrong. I think the maxis were right. Okay. So let me just write maximalists up here. I just want to explain why I think that we all need to, as a community, we need to get better. We need to be better. We need to all be maximalists, or else this is going to keep happening to us over and over again. Are you sick and tired of this? Like riding this shit up, fucking dumping, riding it up, dumping again. Like why does this have to exist? Why do we have to do this? The only reason this is happening is, oh shit, I wanted to keep that. The only reason this is happening is plain and simple greed. It's greed. It is total and utter greed and shitcoinery. Okay, they were right. Shitcoin. I'm not gonna type it out. Shitcoin, and greed are what got us here. Okay. For example, the perfect example is Luna. Luna is a top 10. Luna UST. Luna is a top 10 cryptocurrency that went to fucking zero. So, and the reason it did this is because of unlimited greed. People wanted 20% interest. I wanted it too. We all wanted it. Right? You want it to be too good to be true, and it ends up being too good to be true. We have things like Ethereum, right? Ethereum here, where the collapse with Celsius is related to yield, is related to this other ETH thing that earns interest. So it's like interest. It's interest. It's fake interest. It's Ponzi shit. It's Ponzi economics. And who has been telling us for all of these years that ETH, that all this interest stuff, all this shit is Ponzi schemes? The maximalists. They have, right? They've been telling us this stuff. What else? The Celsius thing, right? Like 8% interest, 10% interest. Like it's who's been telling us it's too good to be true? Not your keys, not your coins. Have you heard that one? Not your keys, not your keys, not your coins. Well, what happens? What happens when you have your coins on Celsius and they say you can't withdraw from here, and you might never get your money back? They were right. They were right once again. You need your keys on your own drive, and if you don't own the drive, you don't own anything. Legitimately, you don't own anything. They've been telling us that for years, and we didn't listen. There's 50 other different things, and honestly, just liquidity. I think liquidity is the biggest one. Do we really think that this would happen? Do we really think that we would have this up and down and all this insanity if liquidity wasn't spread over a million useless projects, a bazillion useless fucking projects? Like, if we all just stopped buying shit coins and bought Bitcoin, Bitcoin might actually do the things it was designed to do. You know, Bitcoin came out with a hard cap, 21 million. There's only 21 million, right? And it came out because of money printing, MP. It came out as a response, as an inflation hedge, saying that we can't print this. It's not controlled by any one person. It's decentralized. All of the things, inflation hedge, all of the things that drew us all to crypto in the very beginning is Bitcoin. Inflation hedge, decentralized, not owned by fucking Vitalik or Do Kwon or the CEO of Celsius. Decentralize. I can't type. Can you read that? Decentralized. That's the worst handwriting I've ever seen. This is what drew us to crypto, okay? But instead of buying the actual gold, what we did is we bought the shit. We bought the shit, and this is the price that we pay. We pay with our Bitcoin. We pay with our Bitcoin because the shitcoins collapse, all these Ponzi schemes collapse, and Bitcoin has to be sold to cover the liabilities. So in the future, maybe we can spread the word. Maybe we can humble ourselves. There were people that came before us, like Satoshi, like some of these guys on Twitter who are so hostile, who honestly turned me off of Bitcoin right here, right? They turned me off Bitcoin here because they're just assholes because they're always saying Bitcoin maximalists, not your keys, not your coins, not your, they're always saying the same shit. But I don't blame them. At this point, I don't blame them because when you've been burned this many fucking times, and you've seen the same thing happen over and over and over again, and all these losers and all this greed, it makes you wonder, like, why? This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. It's the crypto version of the normal markets. Bank of Japan can't have nice things. The freaking Fed can't have nice things because printing money and fake Ponzi shit doesn't lead to happiness. The only thing that leads to happiness is actual hard money, actual real gold, actual productivity, which is Bitcoin, which is the proof of work, which is everything that we've always believed it was. So that's my opinion. I think we all need to swallow our pride, stop promoting these Ponzi schemes. And that's on me. That's on everyone. That's on everyone, guys. We've all been guilty of it. So let's stop. For the next cycle, let's buy Bitcoin. Let's stand up to this bullshit from everywhere. The Fed, the government, your mom, buy AVAX, buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin, tell people about what the actual important thing is. The actual important thing is that inflation is out of fucking control. No one cares if your coin can send money at 1 million seconds per hour and you could trade pictures of dogs. No one cares. What people care about is protecting their wealth for generations. Michael Saylor was right. All these dudes were right. Okay? And so I am a man enough to sit here and say it. Man enough to just tell you that. So what my plan is to accumulate as much of this gold as possible at these low prices and wait. And fucking wait. I know that doesn't sound sexy. I know that doesn't sound like I'm going to get a ton of views. Oh, Kale, we'll talk about Polkadot. You know what? You got to change your mind in this life. At some point in your life, you have to man up, say you were wrong, and pivot. Otherwise, you're going to end up fucking at zero like Luna. Okay? So sorry for all the cussing. I hope you guys like this. Please share this with one person who is thinking about buying some shit coins right now, and tell them to buy Bitcoin instead, or tell them to just wait and buy Bitcoin at 20,000. I don't know. But just tell them to watch this video because I think it's one of the best ones I've ever had. All right. Let me know if you guys like this. All right, bye.